person on my staff was dealing with a bad headache. So yeah, whew, been there, done that. Whoa, is she okay? Thanks for tweeting about it. 509 likes. Whew. Yeah, that's if that is your science, is that is your hair trigger for throwing the province back into lockdown, you are not normal. You are an authoritarian. Hey, do you ever get a headache? That's a ridiculous question. I would imagine every single person in the world at one point in time has got a headache. Some people get them all the time. Some people get migraines. Some people say their headaches are related to the change in the weather. I'm guessing that's a barometric pressure kind of thing. Of course, you can get headaches for the hangover. Get stress headaches. You can get headaches for lack of sleep and lack of water. There are a lot of reasons to get a headache. And most of us don't make a big deal about it. We just take an aspirin or Tylenol or Advil. Is it a political moment when you get a headache? Well, here's Rachel Notley, the leader of the NDP in Alberta, former premier. She says, person on my staff was dealing with a bad headache. Okay, sorry to hear about it. Take some Advil and thanks for the tweet. No, she's not done. They were around others, and you don't want that to, if you've got a headache, stay away from me. You got a headache? Whoa, 6 feet, buddy. You got a headache? Get away from me. Girl germs. Like that's elementary school girl germs, cooties kind of stuff. They were around others, so naturally, that's my favorite word in this whole tweet. Person on my staff was dealing with a bad headache. Okay, was it like their afternoon activity to deal with it? Someone says, Ezra, how do you deal with a headache? I just take some Advil. So the dealing with the headache, just get some Advil and get a glass of water and you've dealt with it. No, this is an NDP union member, so they were taking several hours to deal with it. Person on my staff was dealing with a bad headache. They were around others, so naturally, of course, they got a COVID-19 test just to be safe. It's a headache. It's a headache. And then there's a follow-up tweet because it's very important news. Thankfully, oh, that was a close one. It was negative. But what are their options or tools to keep others safe come 1 week from now? What if she gets another headache? There are no other options/tools. Test, trace, isolate. That is what reasonable Albertans want. Is that the definition of a reasonable person? Hey, how you feeling today? Oh, it's okay, I got a bit of a headache. Whoa, back off! Put on your mask. No, it's just, I was up late last night and I had a couple of drinks. You've got a headache? Stay away. You're going to get that thing tested, right? What do you mean tested? You're going to go get a test, right? What are you talking about? Well, you just said you're dealing with a headache. That's worse. You can have a headache, but if you have to deal with it. Yeah, I just took an Advil. I'm ready to go. Like I'm dealing with it. I took the Advil, should kick in half an hour. No. You got to go and get that thing jammed up your nose. Well, that's going to make my headache worse. No. Naturally, the thing to do is to track and trace and test and maybe give a blood sample too. Can we get a vax for the headache? Excuse me, officer, can I get a vaccine for headaches? Yeah, give me the experimental one. Give me one done by Sinovac or Sputnik. Since the advent of Google, when everyone can Google their own medical malady, I think it's created a generation of hypochondriacs. That's a fancy word for meaning people who think they're sick all the time and think the smallest thing is a sign that they're going to die. Now, by the way, sometimes, the old saying, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. That's a joke. And you could say just because you're a hypochondriac doesn't mean you're not sick. Everyone can... So there is some value to being able to go online as an amateur and sort of see, in layman's terms, what you have. But you don't want to make the mistake of doing homemade medical doctoring any more than you want to make the mistake of homemade lawyering. Seek what information you can get. But then, could you imagine someone saying, I had a headache, so I got a COVID test. I stubbed my toe. Boy, my toe hurts, so obviously I got a COVID test. I was feeling a little, I had Mexican food for dinner, so I'm a little gassy. Okay, do you want to take a COVID test? How is that not medical misinformation? I'll put that tweet. I just want to read it one more time. That word naturally does so much lifting, so much heavy lifting. Person on my staff was dealing with a bad headache. So been there, done that. Whoa, is she okay? Thanks for tweeting about it. 509 likes. Whew. But here's the thing, that headache person, they were around others, so you have to uptalk it. They were around others, so naturally, they got a COVID-19 test just to be safe. Is that what you naturally do? Yeah, that's if that is your science, is that is your hair trigger for throwing the province back into lockdown, you are not normal. You are an authoritarian who is not using common sense, but rather finding any excuse whatsoever to lock people down, and your staff having a headache. You did this whole performance art of getting a test, and then, look, if you want to take the day off work, just say so. Like, it's summertime, it's nice out there. Oh, I got a headache. Okay, there's some Advil in the kitchen. Like, we got some Advil. We got a little office here. We got Advil in one of the change rooms near the bathroom. If someone were to say, "Oh, I got a really bad headache," I'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. I got some Advil. There's some Advil there. There's a 7-Eleven down the street. Go get some Advil." No, man, I'm really dealing with it. Yeah, just take some Advil. There's extra strength. No, man. I don't naturally. I got to go and get tested. What are you talking about? No, I got a headache, so I'm going to now book a testing, get in my car, go to the hospital or whatever, push aside other people who are there for less important reasons, and I got to get tested.
Hi, that was a clip from our Rebel Daily live stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.